Welcome back, everyone, to BBB Sharing. I'm Evie, Director of Ignite, sparked by BBB. We are finally back in the Ignite podcast studio, or I am. It's been a busy January, and I have some very special guests with me today. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to them and let them introduce themselves.
Hi, everybody. Excited to be here. Luis Febres here, also with my best friend and my sister.
Hi, everybody. I'm Oreidy here. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so happy, actually. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming.
Hi, good morning. My name is Andrea Febres and Luis' sister.
Nice. So
Happy to be here
I
too.
love having siblings in here. I've been trying to get my sister to come in here forever, and she's like, absolutely not. And my younger brother would never, so that's a lost cause. But go ahead and tell me what you guys do. I guess I'll start with Luis.
Yes, absolutely. I've been prepared for like a month. Well, I'm very excited to being here in this podcast. It's such a great opportunity, and I think I've been looking for something like this to announce it to the world. Last year, I started my personal growth and development, spiritual development company called By LM, which is my initials. And it all started with this journal, what's it called, the Manifest Now journal. It's pretty much I wanted to give the world a tool for people to realize that they can be the best version of themselves, that they can be happier than what that.
Recording in progress.
Okay.
Sorry, guys, that's our Zoom. It lets us know that it's recording.
Yes.
Although she already let us know ahead of time, so I don't know why she's reminding us again.
Thank you for the reminder. So yeah, basically, it all started with trying to give the world a tool so that they can realize that everything they need to be happier, it's already within. Because
So
we're
I actually have your journal.
awesome.
Yes,
Awesome.
it was
Oh.
gifted to me by Olga.
Yes.
And I started using it, and I love it. It's been really great. And it is a journey because it takes a discipline to sit down and fill that out and say, I'm gonna fill this out every single day or every single night. And I do think that people benefit a lot from answering those questions and doing those journal entries and just being really involved with it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard any responses from people?
Yes, and that's actually what makes my day. Just hearing about all the experiences that people are having with the journal, because everybody's different. So
Yep.
everybody sees it in a different way. Because I made it with the intention of being like the journal. It's a reflection of who you are. Because at the end of the day, it may not have a lot of text. It doesn't have a lot of reading, because you're the one who's gonna give the meaning to it. It's like it's like your own dimension, and it's amazing. People reach out to me and be like, "Hey, I love that. This been helping me in the mornings with my morning routine. This is helping me on my finances. This is helping me on a spiritual level." Well, my mom got it. She was one of the first people who got it, and she's always telling me that one of the first things that she wrote about was about getting her citizenship.
Oh, cool.
And I believe it was like 2 weeks after that she got her citizenship.
Really?
Yeah, she did this
Wow.
the citizenship oath 2 weeks after that.
Wow.
And we were like, okay, this is working out. Like, this is something that is working out.
And it
But
was
yeah.
a hard time for her.
Yeah, I bet.
She was having a hard time with the English communication part of it.
Yeah.
She had to go twice to take the test. The first time she did pass, but the person who interviewed her, she said, you're not like at the communication level just yet. So she had a hard time. And then once she started working on her goals, she was able to do it. And she had the best interview that second time.
Oh, good.
So it helped out. It was like, that's now one of our, how do you say, like a family, family thing.
Yeah.
So everything you put in to it, it's going to happen.
Yep. I have to agree with that. One of the things that we talk about in our family is we talk about how we work on ourselves, because if we don't work on ourselves, we can't be there for each other. And I have to agree with that 100%. When you have a good relationship with yourself, then you can have a good relationship with the people around you.
Yes.
How can you show up and be there 100% for everybody if you're not 100% happy with yourself? Or where
Exactly.
you want to
Exactly.
be?
Yes.
Yeah, the journal let you take a time
Yeah.
because we are fast all the time, every day, with everything in our life, and I think the journal make you stop.
Kind of slow down.
Yeah,
Stop, smell the
slow down,
roses.
and when you start to write, to say, oh, okay, and it's a special moment for you to take that moment. It's like a moment of reflections, a moment like, then you can start your day
Yep.
in a different mood, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's funny because I've always been a journaler. I love journaling. I studied broadcast journaling at school. And for me, writing has always been a way for me to just get it all out. And my dad does not like to write. He does not like to read. I mean, he would have me read news articles for him and then explain them to him. And I told him one day, I said, maybe you should write. And he was like, I don't have the patience for that. And I think even more so, that is a better reason for him to do it, because a lot of times we don't think about our actions throughout the day and what we choose to put our energy into until we sit down and self-reflect.
Yes,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
that's amazing.
It's such an amazing pathway the one you would take when you take a moment of your day to just sit and relax and kind of reflect on the things that, like, asking questions. It's so important, and I think that sometimes we're just so in a fast pace in our routines that we just don't take 5, 10, 20 minutes in our day to just sit and relax and be like, okay, how can I be happier? Like, what is bothering me right now? What things I don't want to have, I don't want to have in my life. How can I change those things? But sometimes we're just like so busy doing some other stuff that we just don't realize it until we get hit on the wall. You know? That's why I believe it's also about the topic about synchronicity. That's one of the things that I like to, believe in. It's just about knowing that no matter what happens in your day, like everything's gonna happen at the right moment, and it's gonna be like time is gonna be perfect. Like you're gonna have what you need to have whenever you need to have it.
That's true.
And if you go through a hard moment, that's kind of trying to teach you something. Like, what is this trying to tell me? Like, is there something that I should be stop doing? Is there something that I should be changing? Is it financial wise? Is it relationships? Is it are you having like an existential crisis? Those are kind of like the things that you should be asking yourself on a daily basis. But sometimes people just they barely do it on a monthly basis.
People are uncomfortable when it comes to questioning themselves. I've noticed that a lot of times we don't want to admit that we're wrong, or that difficult time that we're going through is happening for a reason. And yeah, it's hard in that moment, but I think when we stop and we're like, okay, why is this happening? Or what am I learning from it? And that's one of the hardest things to do, because you just want to be angry and you want to be the victim and you want to be upset.
Yes.
And you're like, why can't I just be in these feelings and be justified from it? And that's not the case. That's not what you're supposed to do. It's not how you move forward.
That's the hardest part. And learning from what didn't go the way you wanted to go and say, okay, it didn't go the way I planned it, but why, what do I have to learn from this?
Yep.
Like, that's the hardest part, in saying, well, it didn't go the way I wanted, but this is how I planned it, and now this is what I have to put up with, just keep going, and this is what's happening to me at this point. So that's the hardest part, definitely.
I'm guilty. I'm the biggest planner.
I know, me too.
Me
too. I
plan
get you.
everything to the T.
Me too.
If I'm late, I'm panicky Susan.
Yeah.
And my whole family, because I travel to Greece every summer with my family, they're always late for everything.
yes.
Greeks are notoriously late.
Yes, just
And
like
Same thing with
Hispanics.
Hispanics.
Yeah.
Same
It's
thing
just-
with us.
It's a cultural thing. And every time I just like, can we be on time? Can
time.
we be somewhere on time when I say to be? No, never.
Yes.
And not only that, I always remind people, think about how things come full circle sometimes. I studied broadcast journalism at VCU. My last semester was when COVID hit. So everybody was quarantined. And I wanted to go work in radio in Nashville. And that did not happen. And fast forward like 3 or 4 years later, here I am in a podcast studio. And I do interviews every single day.
Wow.
And just you don't know why things happen or how they're going to end up. And sometimes you just end up doing the thing that you want to do.
Exactly.
Maybe not in the way you envisioned
Exactly.
it,
Yes. And especially during the pandemic, it
Yep.
didn't happen the way we all planned it.
No.
And things changed so much. And I think 5 years after, we're still having all those changes going on, you
Yeah,
know,
it's
and
still a
trying to
big bounce
adjust to our
back.
new life. But see, I mean, something that you planned didn't go the way you wanted, and now you're doing something and enjoying it. So it's just amazing.
I do love it. It's been really great. And one of the things that I get to do is get to know people like you. And I get to learn something new every single day. And one of the things that I did want to bounce back to was Luis's journal. So go ahead and read one of the questions or an excerpt that you think people would be enticed by or it would be
One
benefited
of the
from
quotes.
listening to.
Yeah, I would love to. There's so many. Okay, I have a special one. And I actually, on this one, I did it purposely. I didn't write down the author of the quote because it was my dad. Where is that one? Let me see. Right
Parents
here.
always say the best things without
here.
knowing.
But here's the thing. He didn't verbally said it.
Really?
Like he hasn't been here with us since 2002. He died on 2002. Was it two? I was 4 years
sorry
old.
for your loss.
That's okay. That's he's been part of the journey all along. So it's kind of hard to explain this because this is not something that he told me directly, but this is something that I heard when I was going through a lot, and I know it was him. And once I heard that, I couldn't just stop thinking about it.
Yep.
It basically says the only religion that exists is love. And when I heard that, and I still remember what I was going through, and I still remember the place where I was at. I was just laying in my bed. I was just crying so much, and then I had a picture of my dad on my desk. It was a picture of my dad, and he was just holding me. He was just carrying me on his right arm. And then, just to be mindful, I did not have any fans on. I didn't have any AC on. No window was open. Anything. I was just crying, just trying to understand, like, how can I get through this? How, like I need a sign. And then all of a sudden, the picture just flew by and hit me in the chest. Just like that.
Really?
I was like, okay. And it's funny because I was like, I need a sign. And then I felt like my dad was like, okay, you need a sign. That's what you got. That's what you get. Like, if you need something else, then I don't know what to give you.
Here is.
There you
Here
go.
is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I felt like all those years that I felt like I was like just missing him or that he was not there physically for me, like all of a sudden I realized like, okay, you've been here all along, just in a different dimension, a different world, however you're gonna call it, a different matter. But ever since that day, ever since that thing happened, like I heard about this, like the only religion that exists is love. And that basically, it could mean a lot of things for different people. But what it means to me is that the engine of this world, it's just happiness and love. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants to be happy, regardless of what your religion is, regardless of who you're with, regardless of anything. At the end of the day, everybody wants to be happy. It's not about money. It's not about friendships. It's not about anything, because it's happiness is something that it's not tangible. It's not a formula. It's not like, okay, this is the perfect picture of happiness. This is the perfect representation of happiness. It's a different definition for everybody, because everybody's different, and everybody's going through a lot and just living their own reality. So the reason why we're here is just to find out what that happiness is and just create it, because you're the only one who knows what your kind of happiness looks like, and you're the only one who has the tools to make it happen. So that's the engine, and that's the reason why, there's a lot of labels and a lot of things and a lot of religions and a lot of things and just so many things in this world, and just so many definitions of anything, different races, different perspectives. But at the end of the day, if you summarize everything, love and happiness are the only two things that are left.
It is very individualistic. I had asked a question one time when I first started. I said, how do you measure success? Are you measuring it based off of what makes you feel successful, or are you measuring it based off of what makes everybody else think is success? And one of the things that has been really hard, especially growing up in the culture that I grew up in, is everything is about how everybody else perceives you and not how you perceive yourself.
Yes.
And so becoming an adult and realizing that it's okay if I don't make a list of everybody I have to call on their name day, because I'm human. I forget.
Exactly.
It's okay if I miss a birthday. It's okay if my dress wasn't perfectly unwrinkled when I went somewhere. It doesn't matter, because as long as I'm happy with me and I know my family still loves me and they accept me for who I am, those are the important people. They're what matters.
Exactly.
And of course, as far as job goes, people are always wondering, oh, they have a great title and they have great this. And it's like, well, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors.
That's
Exactly.
another interesting thing. It's about that we all at some point in our lives, we tend to postpone happiness. Oh, when I get this relationship, I'm gonna be happy. When I finally get that job, I'm gonna be happy. When I make $1 million, I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be happy the day that I get married. When I have kids, I'm gonna be married. This and that, and then you leave your happiness on a second side, just right in the corner, just waiting. And that's the whole reason why I created the journal. And we go back to the journal actually, but that's the whole reason. It's just giving people a blank space with messages of motivation, and just writing down what's in your head and what's in your heart and what's in your soul, because the answers are right there. It's not out there. It's inward.
Yep. Well, everybody, thank you for joining me. Do you have any last words, how people can get in contact with you, how people can purchase the journal?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. As of now, there's two ways to get the journal or to contact me either way. Through Amazon, if you look it up and you put Manifest Now Journal, it's going to pop up like fourth or fifth one in the list. It's going to be
Perfect.
one of them. And then the second one, you can follow me and you can go through my Instagram. It's by Luis Mario. It's by LuisMario. And then you can just send me a DM, and I'm gonna be happy to help you, even if you're not gonna buy the journal and you just want to talk about anything. I'll be there.
That's awesome.
And I don't know if you guys want to say anything before we go.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm happy to be here with you.
I'm happy to
and
have you
with
guys
everybody. Yes, it was amazing to speak about this, because it's a very, very amazing. I have my own, and I'm happy. I will add that a lot of people can be able to have the journal, and more than the journal is start to take time for everybody. Yeah, we need take time for us because everything wrong fast.
Yeah. That's true.
We
do
need time
I
for
think the
us.
journal is a form of
Yeah,
meditation without people
exactly.
realizing that it's a
Exact.
form of
Oh,
meditation.
yes. Taking the time, like you said, it's much needed. Just take the time to go inward and just think about the things you don't say out loud.
Yeah.
And maybe for me, I just take it like a way of decompressing. Sometimes during the day, I had a hard time and I didn't want to say something, out loud to don't hurt someone or something that is really, really in me and I don't want to talk about it. I go and I, put it in words and it helps so much. It's therapeutic.
It is.
It is.
I'm the type of I'm like that too.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like, "Why are you always quiet during an argument?" It's like it's better if I just
Yes.
really
Sometimes
think
it's
about
better.
it before I say something. And with that being
true.
said, those of you that do journal, please check out the journal. It really is amazing. I have it. I love using it. It is a great outlook, a form of meditation and therapy. And those of you that are like, I don't journal, don't knock it till you try it. You don't even know how much it can actually help you. Those of you that are watching on YouTube, please make sure to follow us and subscribe on BBB Central VA. And if you're listening on BBB Sharing Spotify, please make sure to follow us and share it out. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so much. Please subscribe.